welcome to the channel. I'm Annalisa. I usually do videos about art and books and topics relating to those, so if you're interested in that you can check out my other videos, you can subscribe. This little video is going to be my short, chatty, talking about a non-book or arty topic. This one is about my ring and about why I wear my ring. This is an ace ring, or asexual ring. It means that I'm asexual. Not every asexual wears a black ring, but it's just something that I like to do to express it because it's kind of important to me, so I like to wear it. So what it means to be asexual is that you don't experience sexual attraction. Like, you don't, when you're walking down the street and you see a good-looking person, you don't think, I'd like to have sex with them. Or you see a movie star being handsome and shirtless, you don't think, gee, I want to have sex with that guy, or whatever. If I sound a little confused as I'm talking about it, it's because being an asexual person, I don't really get the whole sexual attraction thing. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me. There is a lot of variety within the term of asexual. It's a spectrum between sexuals and asexuals. There are demisexuals who experience sexual attraction when they know someone really well and they have a connection. Not always, but that's like a prerequisite. And that's different from being celibate, except when you know somebody really well, that's like a choice, whereas demisexuality is when you just don't experience it. You're not like telling yourself like, oh, I shouldn't have sex with a stranger because I'll get my feelings hurt or whatever. It's having absolutely no desire to have sex with a stranger, even if they're like beautiful or whatever. My personal subset, I'm asexual for everyone, even if I know them really well, and I'm also sex repulsed. Not all asexuals are sex repulsed. Some are neutral towards it or even positive towards it. They like it, they just don't have like an urge. Like, I think a bunch of things below that excel, but just in general be aware that there are who like sex, there are asexuals who feel neutral about it, and then who like could do it for somebody they like or love, to express affection or to join them in that, but they don't like have an urge, and that's like kind of like, oh, I could go skiing with you because you like it and I want to have fun with you, but I don't particularly enjoy skiing, I'm just doing it to be with you, that kind of thing. And then there's people like me who are sex repulsed, who think that sex is gross and don't want it anywhere near us, and then some sex repulsed people don't want to hear about it, don't want to talk about it, don't want to see it, don't want to think about it. And then there are some people who are sex repulsed for themselves, but who don't mind like people talking about it. Personally, I don't mind it I don't terribly mind it in like books and stuff, but it just doesn't do a thing for me. And so the reason I'm talking about this partly to express myself, and also partly to kind of explain where I'm coming from, because I talk about books, and some of the books, a fair amount of books that I read, have sex scenes in them. And so sometimes I might talk about sex scenes from my perspective, if I ever, which I probably will, talk about sex scenes and what I think about them and how they are for me as an asexual and how they might be for other readers and where I think they belong in books and stuff like that. And so I just kind of wanted to put out where I'm coming from. If you hear me talk about sex scenes in books or movies, that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a I don't get it sort of a place, and I'm coming from a sort of a place. So just kind of a FYI type of thing. I will probably talk more about asexuality in the future. This is just kind of a little short introduction saying what it is, and then I'll talk about like how it applies to different people and how it kind of sucks sometimes and stuff like that in the future in videos that are topical, like, you know. And I'll no doubt talk about it when I talk about representation, because I believe in representation of asexuals in books and movies and shows, and I really wish there was more of it, or any of it. There's a book that's come out recently called Let's Talk About Love that has a main character who is asexual, and from what I've read of the synopsis, seems to be sex repulsed. So I'm really interested in reading that and really excited, and when I do, I will definitely be making a video about it. So that's something to be aware of for the future that I'm hopefully going to be making a video about. On another note, there is another something that's related to asexuality but isn't exactly asexuality, which is being an aromantic, which much like asexuality, the A part is like a prefix meaning not or non. So aromantics don't experience romantic attraction, where they don't like fall in love. They have a lot of love. They love their family, they love friends, they have a lot of love to give. Very loving, wonderful people. They just don't have that falling in silly love type of a thing. And so I'm not that. I am hetero-romantic, asexual, sex repulsed, as kind of a breakdown. I also believe in antic representation and intend to include aromantic characters in my books, and that's one of the reasons that platonic relationships in stories are so important to me, because of my sexuality and of my of the very related aromantics that I feel a lot of kinship with, that those relationships, romantic/sexual relationships, aren't really accessible to us. I feel like it's really important to represent other types of love as being important. It's one of the reasons that I don't do a lot of shipping, because a lot of times with shipping, it feels like you're taking a really great platonic relationship and acting like it doesn't count for anything unless it's romantic. And a lot of people who ship people kind of say that, oh, they love each other so much, they must be in love with each other, and that's a little hurtful to aromantic people and people who, because of their being sex repulsed, may never find a romantic partner, because the vast majority of people who are available want to have sex. So, yeah. I'm not saying that all people who ship people in literature and books and movies and shows and whatever are that way. There are plenty who are very accepting, particularly in the Dan and Phil fandom. There are a lot who are totally okay with and really celebrate platonic relationships, but there are also a lot who don't. So I just kind of want to bring that up as in the future when I talk about shipping / romantic relationships in books versus platonic relationships. That's where I'm coming from. And that's pretty much all for now. If you want to know more, I'd totally be willing to make more videos of an explanation kind, or link you to really good resources on asexuality. And if you think you might be asexual, I'm just going to put a ton of resources in the description for you to check out to see if you or somebody you know is asexual, haven't figured it out yet, or anything like that. And whether anyone asks or not, I'll no doubt be bringing it up because it's important to me, and I want to express myself about it. So, yeah. Tell me all about platonic versus romantic relationships in books and movies in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!